Good evening, everyone. Warm welcome to Regulatory Bodies YouTube channel by Testbook. My name is Madhav. I welcome you all in the next session. We call it as Finance Current Affairs. So today in the Finance Current Affairs session, we have many important news to cover, which are basically related to RBI, and some of the RBI circulars are going to be discussed today. But most importantly, we will be solving few MCQs based on the previous session that was on payment system report. You know this very well that with the inclusion, or I would say with the explosion of digital payment scenarios, not only in India but on the global level, digital payment aspect has become really very important. And if there is a report on payment system, it has a great possibility that it will be asked in the examination. So we have already discussed the report in much detail, and I'm pretty sure you must have watched the previous session. And today, in the today's session, we will be first solving 5 questions based on the same report, and then we will be moving ahead with the current news. If you haven't watched that session yet, then also there's nothing to worry. You will be learning many new concepts with the help of questions as well. Don't take it as a context that I'm checking your knowledge. It's not that. I'm just trying to increase your knowledge, which is going to help you in your examination. ठीक है जी, clear हो गया? Everything is fine. We are good to go. Just give me yes sir in the comment section so that we can begin the discussion without any further delay. Please reply so that we can begin the discussion without any further delay. Okay then, let's get started. So let's start with the first question of the day. But before that, if you want to download the PDF, it will be available on my Telegram channel. Do join the channel to download the PDF. So we have a quick revision from payment system report. I have a first question, which is more of static based question, which I have derived from the current affairs. जैसे इस बार phase 1 के examination में they have derived static questions from the current affairs. I have done the same for you. So the first question is now on your screen. Try to answer this. The question says what? So the question is, which one of the following statement about India's RTGS is correct? RTGS settles transactions on a net settlement basis once every business day. Is it correct? No, sir. RTGS settlement is done in a real time. It's not done once in a day. It's not a net settlement. Rather, it's a gross settlement. One by one, each and every transaction ought to be settled down. So it is gross settlement. RTGS has a minimum customer transaction limit of 2 lakh rupees, and it is available 24/7 since 14th of December 2020. That is correct. RTGS is operated by private entity. No, sir. RTGS is operated by none other than RBI. RTGS only handles retail low value transactions. No, sir. RTGS is one of the, I would say, instrument which is looking forward for bulk transactions, for huge transactions. So this is wrong. RTGS does not support multilateral net settlement batches from other retail systems. Is it correct? Badao sir, I think the last statement is correct. Yes or no? So if I talk about the fifth statement, sir, RTGS, remember that this is very important. This statement is also wrong. Why it is wrong? RTGS does settle multilateral net settlement batch files emanating from retail payment system, for example, UPI, IMPS, AEPS, NETC, NFS, NACH and whatnot. तो यहाँ पे ये statement भी गलत होगी. So the only statement which is correct in the given option is only one, that is B statement. Moving on to the next question. I hope it is clear, guys. No doubt. Chalo, let's move on to the next question. What does the next question says? Which of the following statement accurately reflects the first half 2025 distribution of payment instruments in India? UPI accounted for around 9% of transaction volume and 85% of value in the first half of 2025. Is it correct? Sir, अगर हम इस report की बात करें, तो if I talk about the volume, sir, volume is 85%, but if I talk about value, sir, it is 9%. So this is not correct. It is a wrong statement. First statement, that is the A statement, is wrong. अगला question क्या कहता है? RTGS accounted for About 69 transaction value, yes sir, 69% is with the RBI in terms of value. But if I talk about UPI, it accounted for roughly 85% of the volume. That is also correct. But if I talk about RTGS volume, it is only 0.1%, but value is 69%. So B statement is correct. Checks were the largest share by volume in first half. No sir, the largest share was UPI, not checks. Next point is card payment had a larger share in the value than RTGS. No sir, RTGS is on the top. It do not stand second or something like that. UPI had almost zero share in overall transaction volume. No sir, this is wrong. UPI has 85% of share. So answer is going to be B option. Is it correct? Moving on to the next question. Next question says, pick the correct statement with respect to PIDF. Deployment and purpose. PIDF was launched. I hope you all remember this scheme, that is PIDF scheme. How many of you have heard about it? We have discussed in the previous session. Can you give me the full form for PIDF? It stands for what? So PIDF stands for what? Any idea? So it stands for Payment Infrastructure Development Fund. So Payment Infrastructure Development Fund was launched back in 2025. That is correct or wrong? Give me the answer. No sir, this is a wrong statement. Why it is a wrong statement? If I go with this, PIDF was not launched in 2025 to support only large metro stations. दोनों ही कॉन्टेक्स्ट में गलत है. एक तो PIDF को 2025 में लॉन्च नहीं किया गया और दूसरा इसका टारगेट लार्ज मेट्रो स्टेशंस नहीं है. इसका टारगेट है Tier 3 to Tier 6 cities और centers. अगला पॉइंट आता है PIDF launched in January 2021. This is correct, which focuses on acceptance in Tier 3 to Tier 6 centers. I hope you all understand Tier 3 to Tier 6 centers. They are defined as per the population and they had subsidized deployment of over 14 lakh POS devices, 4 crore QR codes and 67.60 lakh sandbox. This is correct. PIDF exclusively subsidizes bank ATM and white label ATM in Tier 1 cities. No. PIDF replaced UPI as a primary retail payment infrastructure. अगर हम UPI infrastructure इस point पे बात करें तो मेरा आंसर क्या होगा सर? PIDF has basically given a complement in terms of acceptance infrastructure. It is not trying to replace UPI. So this is wrong. PIDF funds are only for online payment gateways and not for physical devices. That is wrong. So PIDF explicitly subsidizes the physical acceptance devices as well, like your point of sale machines, your sandboxes, QR codes, not only for the online gateway. So keeping that in mind, only one statement is correct. That is the B option. So B option is the correct answer for the given question. समझ आ रही है बातें? क्लियर हो रहा है? जो पिछली क्लास में था उसे समझ आ रहा होगा, उसके लिए अच्छा रिवीजन होगा. लेकिन those who have not attended the previous session, go back after this session and do attend it. Next is, which statement correctly describes the recent enhancements to TREDS? We all know that trade receivable discounting system. So this TREDS was closed to new financiers in June 2023 to limit liquidity. So this is wrong. Enhancement in June 2023 has rather expanded, not restricted the financier participation. So this is wrong. June 2023 enhancements expand the pool of financiers. That is correct. Permitted insurers to insure financiers exposure to encourage bidding. तो भैया सिंपल सी बात है, ट्रेड्स को एक्सपैंड किया गया था जिसमें इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज को अलाउ किया गया था that they will be providing the insurance to the exposures of the financiers who are providing funds against the discounting of bills. It enabled the display of bids to the other bidders and facilitated settlement of bills not discounted through the platform. That is also correct. TREDS is only for large corporates and cannot know. Sir, इसमें जो seller है, the one who is going to get its invoice discounted, that is MSME, and the one who is going to invest will include the large corporates. TREDS eliminated the ability to have a secondary market for factoring units. No, sir. Rather, it has encouraged the secondary market. It has not eliminated it. TREDS requires all invoices to be discount free. No, sir, this is wrong. TREDS is a platform specifically for invoice discounting. So financing is central to its purpose. That is not correct. So answer will be only one option. That is the B option is correct. Last question from the previous, I would say, sessions. news related questions. The fifth one is select the correct statement about RTGS. RTGS handle less than 1% of digital payments by value. This is wrong. So digital payment by values is around 69%. It's not 1%. That is absolutely wrong. The next point is RTGS has a recovery time object of 2 hours and uses near and far disaster recovery sites. It settles about 70% digital transactions by value and designated as systematically important payment system of the country. This is correct. So B option is correct. RTGS does not provide beneficiary account name lookup and therefore no sir, अब RTGS में भी आप beneficiary के account को उसके name को cross check कर सकते हैं. So this is wrong. RTGS allows participants to set priorities only from 50 to 99 and rejects any other priority values. Is this point correct? No sir. RTGS priority numbers can be from 1 to 99. 1 to 10 is reserved for banks and other usings, and 11 to 99 is basically the system that handles priority ordering and queuing as described. So this statement is factually wrong. RTGS is not subject to business continuity drills and has no disaster recovery plan. This is wrong. So RTGS के पास disaster recovery plan भी है and it is related to the or it possesses the business continuity drills as well. तो यहाँ पे भी जो correct answer होगा that will be only one, which is the B option. ठीक है जी, समझ आ गया? कोई doubt है तो पूछ लेना. You will be getting the PDF of this particular report just after this particular session. I hope we are good to go for the next session. That means for the 30th to 31st of October, we will be conducting or we will be discussing around 3 news which are really very important, and direct question can be asked in phase 1 as well as in phase 2 and even in the SEBI examination. If you all are ready and you want me to start with the discussion, just give me yes sir. If you haven't hit the like button, do like the session so that we can begin without any further delay. Okay, here we go with the first news of the evening. The first news is related to RBI has given nomination directions 2025. So with respect to nomination directions, we have studied many things. The first thing which we have studied regarding the nomination is the banking law amendment. And under the banking law amendment, if you remember, मैंने आपको बताया था, now if you are opening up a deposit account or maybe a safe deposit lockers with the bank, you can appoint up to 4 nominees and you can appoint these nominees either in successive manner or in sequential manner. Successive manner का मतलब कि भैया मेरे बाद X के बाद Y, Y के बाद Z, Z के बाद A, और sequential manner में you are giving the weightage. X को 50% share मिलेगा, Y को 20% and so on. Second point we have discussed regarding the RBI nomination is recovery of the funds. Recovery of funds or assets. Once the account holder has died, that means अगर आपके account holder की death हो जाती है, in case of deceased account holder, what will be the process of recovery? What is the threshold? So the threshold for commercial banks is 15 lakhs, and if I talk about the thresholds for cooperative banks is 5 lakhs. तो अगर आपकी threshold से कम asset value है या deposit value है, then in that particular case recovery is done through an easy channel. If it is more than that and no nominee is defined, then I would say there is a requirement of court orders and many other documents, then only the legal here can receive the funds. I hope ये story आपको याद होगी. अब इसी से related RBI ने एक और norm दी है which is going to be applicable from 1st of November 2025. इसमें कुछ ज़्यादा rocket science भी नहीं है, कुछ ज़्यादा नया भी नहीं है, but हाँ अब news आई है, we have to cover it. So let's read it out. It's more of theoretical nature because you know this conceptual part which I have just written on the screen for you all on the left hand side with my red color marker, जहाँ से आपको ये clarity हो रही है कि these are the things which we have already gone through with. लेकिन अब इसके context में एक और important update है जिसको हम आज cover करेंगे. So Reserve Bank of India has issued the fresh guidelines titled Reserve Bank of India Nomination Facility in Deposit Accounts, Safe Deposit Lockers and articles which are kept in safe custody with the bank's Direction 2025. These directions implement the changes which have been introduced under Banking Law Amendment Act. I hope you remember these changes, as well as the changes which are announced under Banking Regulation Act 1949. Alongside the Banking Companies Rule 2025 have been notified, and this will come into act from which date? Sir, it will come into act from 1st of November 2025. सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन है कि सर इसकी जरूरत क्या थी? जब बैंकिंग लॉज आ गए थे, सब कुछ हो गया था, तो आरबीआई ने ये जो डायरेक्शन दी है, व्हाट वाज द नीड? सर, इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द नीड, previously nomination process was inconsistent across banks, which causes delay and legal hurdles for the families after the customer's death. So the goal of this new direction is to speed up the settlement to nominee or heirs, avoid legal hardships to the family, ensure uniform rules across all the banks, very important, digitally record nomination details properly, and bring laws aligned with the amended Banking Regulation Act. Bring laws aligned with the amended Banking Regulation Act, जो मैंने यहाँ पर आपको अभी बताया, that is related to the Banking Law Amendment. अब यहाँ पे हमें क्या क्या चीजें याद रखनी है जहां से क्वेश्चन एग्जामिनेशन में पूछे जाएंगे. What is this nomination facility? Nomination facility का मतलब है जब whenever you open up a deposit account or maybe a safe deposit locker with the bank, and in case of your absence at the time of your death, who is going to recover the funds, who is going to receive the funds, that is decided by the term, that is nominee. कौन हो सकता है nominee? So nominee can be anyone, any individual, any eligible individual can be appointed as a nominee. There's no hard and fast rule that the nominee should be in your blood relation or something like that. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So nominee who will receive funds or assets in case of account holder's death. पर्पस क्या है? क्विक एंड हेजल फ्री क्लेम सेटलमेंट, प्रिवेंट करना फैमिली डिस्प्यूट और प्रोवाइड करना क्लैरिटी. दिस डज नॉट मीन दैट नॉमिनी बिकम्स द ओनर. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस डज नॉट मीन कि जो नॉमिनी है वो ओनर बन जाएगा. नॉमिनी जस्ट एक्ट एज अ ट्रस्टी फॉर लीगल ईयर्स अनलेस अदरवाइज लीगली डिटरमाइंड. तो अगर आपके नॉमिनी को सिर्फ नॉमिनी टर्म लिखा है तो नॉमिनी इज जस्ट हु? सर, नॉमिनी इज जस्ट द ट्रस्टी फॉर लीगल ईयर्स. ही इज नॉट द ओनर until and unless he is legally defined as the owner under the registered will of the individual who has passed away. कैटेगरी की अगर हम बात करें, डिपॉजिट अकाउंट, सेफ डिपॉजिट लॉकर्स, आर्टिकल केप्ट इन सेफ स्टडी, दे ऑल आर इंक्लूडेड अंडर दिस conditions. But if you are talk about government schemes like PPF or senior citizen saving scheme, in that particular case this law is not included. There is a separate law which defines the nominee for the given one. अब क्वेश्चन ये आता है कि सबसे पहला, सर ये जो पूरी स्टोरी आप आज डिस्कस करोगे, इस स्टोरी की एप्लीकेबिलिटी क्या है? इफ यू आस्क मी अबाउट इट्स एप्लीकेबिलिटी, then I would say the applicability of this particular story, applicability of this particular story is what? So this story is applicable on commercial banks, State Bank of India and its associates if they are existing, but they are no more existing, regional rural banks as well as cooperative banks, and it will be implemented from 1st of November 2025. The effective date बहुत important है. What are the key legal powers used? Section 35 use किया गया Banking Regulation Act का. Section 56 applies the same provision to cooperative banks, and Section 45 nomination for deposit lockers and safe custody articles has been touched. Major provisions क्या है? सबसे पहला point. What is the first point? Mandatory offering of nomination. तो earlier there was no mandatory condition set कि अगर आप एक deposit account open कर रहे हैं you must have a nominee. That was not required earlier. लेकिन अब बहुत clearly बोल दिया as per the latest direction given by RBI that it is mandatory to offer nomination. That means bank must offer nomination option at the time of account opening and explain the benefits. तो अब ये बैंक की ड्यूटी बनती है कि बैंक कस्टमर को बताए कि सर आप एक अकाउंट का नॉमिनी बना सकते हैं, ये उसके बेनिफिट्स हैं. अगर कस्टमर डिक्लाइन करता, कस्टमर हैज द पावर, कस्टमर कैन डिक्लाइन. सो कस्टमर may refuse the nomination, it's fine, customer can decline, but bank must take the डिक्लेरेशन इन राइटिंग. ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि अब अगर आप बैंक के पास गए और आपने कहा सर डिपॉजिट अकाउंट ओपन करो, बैंक ने कहा नॉमिनी, आपने कहा नहीं चाहिए, तो बैंक कहेगा ऐसा नहीं है सर, टिक करो इस पे, यू डोंट रिक्वायर इन राइटिंग, आई नीड दैट यू डोंट रिक्वायर अ नॉमिनी. इफ कस्टमर रिफ्यूजेस टू साइन देन बैंक विल रिकॉर्ड रिफ्यूजल. अगर कस्टमर ने कहा कि आई एम नॉट position to sign, then it will be considered as a refusal. No bank can deny account opening due to refusal. तो यहाँ पे आपने बस इतना ही है कि अगर कस्टमर कहता है कि आई एम नॉट going to sign this declaration form, then also bank will consider it refusal only. That means customer is refusing to appoint a nominee, and in that particular case ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आपने nominee appoint नहीं किया तो आपका account नहीं खुलेगा. account खोल सकते हो, लेकिन अगर आप मना कर रहे हो तो इन राइटिंग आपको देना होगा कि आप अकाउंट पे नॉमिनी नहीं चाहते. तीसरा पॉइंट है प्रोप्राइटरशिप अकाउंट्स. प्रोप्राइटरशिप अकाउंट्स या जो बैंक अकाउंट्स है, they are almost same as that of individual accounts, and in case में भी nomination को for sure nominate किया जाएगा, for sure offer किया जाएगा. Acknowledgement of nominee form. So bank must verify correctness as per the acts and rules कि भैया जो भी हम nominee form दे रहे हैं क्या वो as per the act, as per the rules है. Acknowledge requires within 3 working days कि अगर आपका आज अकाउंट ओपनिंग की रिक्वेस्ट जाती है और बैंक ने आपको अकाउंट ओपन करके दिया तो उसमें आपको 3 दिन का समय दिया गया. 3 दिन में आपको नॉमिनी वाला चैप्टर क्लियर करना. अगर आपने हाँ बोल दिया तो डिटेल दे दो, और अगर आपने मना कर दिया, इफ यू आर रिफ्यूजिंग इट, इन दैट पर्टिकुलर केस you have to come up with the reason. You have to inform that why I am rejecting, what is my thought behind rejecting the nomination, and you have to inform the reason in writing. अब अगर डेथ हो जाती है नॉमिनी की, इफ द नॉमिनी डाइज बिफोर रिसीविंग द फंड्स, इट एक्ट एज नो नॉमिनी अकाउंट, क्लेम प्रोसेस्ड एज पर आरबीआई सेटलमेंट ऑफ क्लेम डायरेक्शन 2025. समझ आई ये बात कि आपने एक अकाउंट ओपन किया, अगेंस्ट दैट यू हैव अपॉइंटेड अ नॉमिनी, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली द नॉमिनी पासेस अवे, and if the nominee passes away in that particular scenario, what is going to happen? So in that particular scenario, that account will be considered as no nominee account, and its recovery of funds or claim generation will be done as per the RBI settlement of claim directions, which we have already studied. उसमें क्या होगा कि you will reach to the bank जिसमें नॉमिनी नहीं है, तो लीगल ईयर को आइडेंटिफाई किया जाएगा, लीगल ईयर पहुंचेगा, कोर्ट ऑर्डर्स लेके जाएगा, तब जाकर you will have those funds. Bank books and records. So bank must record registration, cancellation and modification of the nomination. तो अगर आपने रजिस्टर किया फाइन, अगर आपने कैंसिल किया नॉमिनेशन फाइन, अगर आपने मॉडिफाई किया नॉमिनेशन, वो सारी डिटेल्स बैंक अपने पास मेंटेन रखेगा. डिस्प्ले इन पासबुक एंड स्टेटमेंट. सो रिमेंबर दैट बैंक मस्ट प्रिंट नॉमिनेशन रजिस्टर्ड. अगर आपने रजिस्टर किया है, नेम ऑफ द नॉमिनी विल बी ऑल्सो प्रिंटेड ऑन योर पासबुक एज वेल एज स्टेटमेंट. दिस इज समथिंग विच इज न्यूली एडेड. This is something which is newly added as per the RBI norms. Next, we have customer awareness. Bank must add nomination reminders in forms, print messages in passbook and checkbooks, conduct awareness drives. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि भैया अगर आपने नॉमिनी अपॉइंट नहीं किया तो उस केस में आपको बैंक बार बार याद करवाएगा that you have to appoint a nominee. अब ये नॉमिनी आपको याद कैसे कराएगा? जब आपसे फॉर्म भरवाएगा अकाउंट ओपनिंग के टाइम, तब बैंक आपको याद कराएगा, रिमाइंड कराएगा. उसके बाद बैंक आपको पासबुक पे लिख के देगा नॉमिनी नॉट रजिस्टर्ड, चेक बुक पे नॉमिनी नॉट रजिस्टर्ड, और बैंक उसके साथ साथ कंडक्ट करेगा अवेयरनेस ड्राइव सो दैट बैंक कैन अपडेट, बैंक कैन मेक द पब्लिक अवेयर दैट व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल बेनिफिट ऑफ नॉमिनीज. देन वी हैव फॉर्म्स एंड डॉक्यूमेंट्स. सो बैंक मस्ट मेंटेन फॉर्म्स, as I said, for the registration, cancellation and changing the nominee details. इससे पहले के जितने भी rules हैं, they will be considered null and void, but the actions which have been taken earlier, they will hold as it is. But आज के बाद यानी कि 1 November 2025 के बाद nomination related अगर कुछ changes होंगे, that will be done as per the direction which I have discussed. Why this direction is important? First one is benefit for the customer. Customer harassment नहीं होगा, faster fund या लॉकर रिलीज होगा, क्लैरिटी एंड ट्रांसपेरेंसी, एंड अवॉइड करेगा लेंदी कोर्ट प्रोसेस. बेनिफिट क्या है बैंक को? सर एक स्टैंडर्डाइज प्रोसेस बन गया विच यू हैव टू फॉलो बाय ऑल द बैंक्स, बाय ऑल द ब्रांचेस. लोअर लीगल डिस्प्यूट्स होंगे बैंक के ऊपर. अगर लीगल डिस्प्यूट नहीं है तो बैंक के ऊपर भी उसकी टेंशन कम है, वरना उसकी टेंशन बैंक के ऊपर रिफ्लेक्ट फॉर श्योर होती थी. Now if I talk about some of the terms, nomination we all know, a person you appoint to receive the assets after your death. Safe deposit locker is a bank locker which is available for rent. Safe custody bank facility to store documents or jewels safely. RBI directions, that means the binding instructions for the bank which bank has to follow. Then we have Banking Regulation Act. It's a governing law which was introduced in 1949, and remember that before independence in India, banking sector was not legalized. Banking sector basically legalized under the Banking Companies Act 1949 और इसी एक्ट को किया गया था Banking Regulation Act 1949. You all study RBI is the regulator of banking sector, but do you know RBI from day one was not the regulator of banking sector. Rather, under the Banking Regulation Act 1949, RBI was given the power to monitor, regulate and inspect the banking sector, and that is the reason this Banking Regulation Act is really very important. ये वही एक्ट है जिसके तहत बैंकिंग लाइसेंस को मैंडेटरी किया गया. दिस इज द सेम एक्ट अंडर विच मिनिमम कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट वाज आल्सो इंट्रोड्यूस्ड फॉर सेटिंग अप अ बैंक. Next, we have real life example. If I take a real life example, I have quoted a real life example for you. Let's say Ria open a savings account. Bank informs her about the nomination. She will nominate her mother. For example, bank will verify and give the confirmation within the 3 days. Passbook display, nomination registered, as well as nominee name will be printed. That is mother will be written. If Ria dies, her mother can claim the funds without court documents. So conclusion ये है कि अब आरबीआई ने नॉमिनेशन डायरेक्शन 2025 को स्टैंडर्डाइज किया इन ऑर्डर टू इंक्रीज द ट्रांसपेरेंसी, लीगली अलाइंड, कस्टमर फ्रेंडली एंड एफिशिएंट एंड टेक्नोलॉजी सपोर्टेड. क्लियर, सॉर्टेड, क्लियर हो गया, समझ आया, मजा आया. तो आपको 3 चीजें याद रखनी है. एक तो आज वाला डायरेक्शन, इससे पहले बैंकिंग लॉ अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 2025 वो up to 4 nominee वाला part, and last आपको जो याद रखना है that is one more direction which was given by RBI regarding the claim settlement of deceased person's account. तो ये 3 circulars हैं RBI के which are interrelated, and I'm pretty sure all these 3 circulars are absolutely clear to you. If it is clear, give me yes sir. I'll move on to the next one. Guys, if it is clear, give me yes so that we can move ahead. Okay then, moving on to the next part. The next part is questions based on the same. So the first question is, which of the following statement about RBI nomination direction 2025 is or are correct? These directions come into force from 1st of November 2025. So that is absolutely correct. These directions are going to be enacted from 1st of November 2025, so it is correct. Next point is, so these directions are applicable to all the banks, not only commercial banks. These are applicable to cooperative banks as well. A nominated person becomes the absolute owner. No sir, nominated person do not become the absolute owner. Rather it is it act basically the trustee for the legal years. So this is also wrong. Next we have, a bank is required to offer and explain the nomination facility. This is correct. If a prospective customer refuses to give a written declaration declining nomination, the bank may refuse to open the account. Bank may refuse to open the account. No sir. In that particular case, bank cannot refuse to open the account, because bank cannot refuse to open the account solely because of customer declines the nomination facility. The customer refuses. The bank must take a written declaration, but account opening cannot be denied or delayed on the grounds if all other KYC and eligibility conditions are correct. So you will be opening up the account. Maybe later on you may freeze, you may ask them to give in writing, but initially you cannot refuse to open up the account. So this is wrong. So what will be the answer? So the answer will be only 2 statements are correct. That is A option, 1 and 4 are the correct answers. Got it? Moving on to the next question. The next question is your homework. Take a screenshot quickly. The next question is your homework, guys. Take the screenshot quickly. Done. Moving on to the next one. The next is the news related to RBI Central Board meeting. So recently RBI has concluded the 69th. Recently RBI has concluded 619th board meeting or central board meeting. So Reserve Bank of India's 619th meeting of the Central Board of Directors in Udaipur was concluded. The meeting was obviously chaired by the governor of RBI. This meeting is an important part of RBI's governance structure, where the central board reviews India's economic and financial situation. Now, if I talk about Central Board of Directors, it includes RBI Governor as well as RBI Deputy Governor, which are appointed for tenure up to 3 years, and this appointment is done. This appointment is done by which organization? It is appointment committee of the cabinet, and the recommendation is given by which committee? Any idea? Any idea? If you have attended my sessions in the past, then you must remember I have discussed this in much detail. डिप्टी गवर्नर ऑफ आरबीआई का जब अपॉइंटमेंट हुआ था उस केस में वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट दिस इन मच डिटेल. सो वी ऑल नो दैट फाइनल अपॉइंटमेंट इज डन बाय अपॉइंटमेंट्स कमेटी ऑफ द कैबिनेट, बट द नेम इज रिकमेंडेड बाय विच ऑर्गेनाइजेशन? There is a committee which shortlist, or I would say which takes the interviews and shortlist the candidate. Which is that organization? Any idea? No one? बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ाया था यार मैंने ये. I explained this point in much detail with you all guys. I was expecting कि you will be in a position to answer it. No one? If you can't, just type N. If you're not in a position to recall it, just give me N. It's a committee for this purpose. Yes, absolutely correct. It's absolutely correct. AMI, Financial Sector Regulatory Appointment Search Committee. This is absolutely correct. Financial Sector Regulatory Appointment Search Committee is the correct answer. So answer to this particular question, or the point is correct. Why this meeting is important? As I was saying, so RBI Governor and Deputy Governor can be appointed up to 5 years. Final appointment is done by Appointments Committee of the Cabinet. Along with this, we have four directors of local board, and these four directors of local board are directly appointed by the government for the tenure of 4 years. After that, government nominate 10 individuals, and 2 individuals are nominated from finance ministry. So in total, if I calculated 1 plus 4 deputy governors we have, so 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 12 is 21. So in total, we have 21 central board of directors. Unki meeting hui. So RBI is the central bank of the country. So the meeting is very crucial because it checks, analyze the financial stability, and that is the reason it is responsible for maintaining the financial stability, regulating banks and financial matters, controlling inflation and interest rate, managing currency and foreign exchange reserves, protecting depositors and consumers, as well as meeting of its central board are important because they shape the direction of India's monetary as well as banking policy. अब इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अगर हम बात करें तो 2 इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट्स है. पहला, Vigilance Awareness Week. So during the meeting, members took 2 official pledges. First one is Integrity Pledge, Vigilance Awareness Week. So the pledge is a part of national campaign to promote honesty and transparency in public services. Vigilance Awareness Week is observed every year to encourage ethical practice and fight against corruption in the public instruction. If I ask you Vigilance Awareness Week was celebrated this year from which date to which date? Was celebrated this year from which date to which date? Any idea? So the answer to this particular question is Vigilance Awareness Week 2025 has been started from, if I'm not wrong, 27th of October, guys. It has been started from 27th of October, and it will be celebrated, or it will be observed up till which date? Any idea? So from 27th of October to 2nd of November. The next question I have for you is, what is the theme of current Vigilance Awareness Week. This year the theme is Vigilance Our Shared Responsibility. Vigilance Our Shared Responsibility, हमारी साझा जिम्मेदारी. That is the basic theme of this particular year. So remember this. As a prelude to Vigilance Awareness Week 2025, the Commission has desired that all the organizations may undertake a 3-month campaign from 18th August to 17th of November 2025 on preventive vigilance with focus on 5 areas as specified. So in that particular context, you need to remember. And this Vigilance Week is celebrated in honor of Bharat Ratan, in the honor of Bharat Ratan holder सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल. ठीक है जी. अब जैसा एग्जामिनर क्वेश्चन बनाएगा उसी तरह से मैं भी हर पॉइंट को डिटेल में बताता चलूंगा ताकि अगर उससे आसपास क्वेश्चन आए तो यू कैन आंसर इट. राष्ट्रीय एकता दिवस प्लेज. So this pledge honors the 150th birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who is also known as he was also given a title related to unity. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he was also termed as Iron Man of India. He was the architect of national unity. His statue has been set up and it is Statue of Unity again. So Rashtriya Ekta Divas, National Unity Day, celebrates his role in unifying India after independence. Now if I ask you राष्ट्रीय एकता दिवस, ठीक है ना, विजिलेंस वीक कब से कब मनाया गया? So 27th of October से 2nd of November. And what is the theme? So the theme is Vigilance Our Shared Responsibility. Vigilance Our Shared Responsibility. ठीक है जी. Then if I talk about राष्ट्रीय एकता दिवस, that is National Unity Day. That is National Unity Day. So if I talk about the National Unity Day, what will be the answer to this? National Unity Day is observed on the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji, and it is observed every year on which date? Sir, on the 31st of October, and this year it marks the 150th birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The theme is Ek Bharat Atmanirbhar Bharat. What is the theme? So the theme is Ek Bharat Atmanirbhar Bharat. याद रहेगा? So I'm trying my best कि जो भी general awareness related news है related to my topic, I will be covering that as well. What were the key focus areas which have been discussed during this particular meeting? So the first one is global and domestic economic outlook. So the board examined the current global economy and India's economic situation, where they have discussed about global geopolitical tension, war, trade disruptions, financial market conditions, global inflation trends, impact on India's economy, trade and currency, as well as growth outlook and risk. Secondly, they talked about domestic financial stability, where they have evaluated banking sector, health and credit growth, inflation trends in India, liquidity conditions in India, foreign exchange market stability in India, policy challenges ahead, and such assessment they will help RBI to decide future monetary policy actions. अगला पॉइंट है रिव्यू ऑफ आरबीआई सब कमेटी. सो द सेंट्रल बोर्ड supervises several subcommittees, and the meeting reviewed how these committees are functioning and whether they need any changes or improvement if required. Last point है review of DICGC. आपको याद होगा DICGC, the wholly owned subsidiary of RBI, which ensure the public deposits with the bank up to 5 lakh rupees per individual per bank is insured with a premium of 0.12%. लेकिन इस पे 2 पॉइंट्स है. पहला पॉइंट तो ये जो कि आरबीआई ने प्रपोज की है. Now the premium will not be flat for every bank. It will be risk-based premium. For highly risk bank, premium will be high. And secondly, it was also recommended that this 5 lakh rupees per account, per bank, 5 lakh rupees per individual per bank insurance value will also be enhanced as per the requirement. अगर हम देखें इंडिया में तो 97% से ज़्यादा अकाउंट fully insured है. But if we talk about the amount which is fully insured, so that is around 48%. तो अब ये कहो कि total जो deposit amount है वो 50% भी fully insured नहीं है. But if you talk about the total number of accounts, they are 97% insured. Review of central office departments. So key RBI department reviewed included, first one, consumer education and protection department. So this department ensures that bank customers are treated fairly, consumer grievances are handled properly and financial literacy is promoted. ठीक, अब अगर इसके बैकग्राउंड की बात करूं, the central board is the highest decision making authority of the RBI and it is responsible for formulating and reviewing RBI policies, supervising financial and banking stability, review budget and internal working of RBI and approve strategic decisions and systematic reforms. अब अगर मैं RBI Act की बात करूं, so RBI Act requires central board to meet at least 6 times in a year and at least once in a quarter. ये point important है. Central board of directors of the RBI should meet at least 6 times in a year and at least once in a quarter. I hope now it is clear. Nothing more is important. कुछ important terms थी वो मैंने add कर दी, आप पढ़ लीजिएगा. सीधा चलते हैं question की ओर. If I talk about the first question, which of the following statement about the 619th meeting of the RBI Central Board is correct? 619th meeting was held in Udaipur, chaired by Governor. True. Central Board took Integrity Pledge for Vigilance Awareness Week and Rashtriya Ekta Divas Pledge on account of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's 150th birth anniversary. True. The board reviewed the functioning of DICGC. True. Only 3 deputy governors were present. No sir, all the deputy governors were present. ऐसा नहीं है कि 3 थे. Governor, deputy governor and many other important organization related individuals. Governor, deputy governor and all the other members which I just discussed, they were present. Last we have is the press release of the meeting is numbered. ये जो नंबर मैंने आपको दिया है ये मैंने इंटेंशनल दिया है कि ऐसा क्वेश्चन बहुत बार मेरे पास पूछा जाता है कि सर ये जो प्रेस रिलीज है उसके ऊपर एक नंबर दिया है, क्या हमें ये नंबर भी याद करना है? नहीं गाइस, कोई आपसे पूछने वाला नहीं है. वैसे सही है लेकिन दिस इज नॉट नीड टू रिमेंबर. सो आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी बी ऑप्शन 1, 2, 3 एंड 5 आर करेक्ट. क्लियर हो गया जी? I hope there is no more doubt. Let's move on to the next question. अगला क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. अच्छा, this is your homework. Take the screenshot, guys. Take the screenshot. This is your homework. Quickly. And once you have taken it, just give me yes, sir. Take the screenshot. Done. चलो. Moving on to the next news. अगली news बहुत interesting है. The next news talks about 30th meeting of the Standing Advisory Committee on MSMEs. So first of all, what we have is, we have a meeting of Standing Advisory Committee and this was the 30th meeting of the Standing Advisory Committee and this meeting, Standing Advisory Committee is on what? So this Standing Advisory Committee is on MSMEs. It is on MSME and that to MSME credit ठीक है जी. अब MSME credit से related Standing Advisory Committee की recently मीटिंग हुई है. उस मीटिंग में क्या क्या बातें की गई वो मैं आपके साथ डिस्कस करूंगा. 30th meeting of the Standing Advisory Committee on reviewing the flow of credit to micro, small, medium enterprise sector was held in Coimbatore on 27th of October 2025. Remember that this meeting was chaired by Swaminathan Janakiraman, if I'm not wrong. Swaminathan Janakiraman, he is the Deputy Governor of RBI. So this committee meets regularly to monitor and improve the availability of credit to MSMEs. And this particular meeting included Deputy Governor of RBI. It has included representations from SEBI, NABARD, Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, as well as Ministry of Finance and many more. If I talk about the background of the story, why this meeting is important? Because MSME is important. Now the question is why MSME is important for India? So MSME is important for India because it contributes around 30% of India's GDP. MSME contributes around 45% of India's export. MSME provide job or employment to more than 11 crore individuals, which means MSME is on the second rank in terms of providing employment after agriculture sector. A large share of manufacturing and supply chain networks storing a strong role in the rural industrialization and entrepreneurship makes MSME a very important segment of the economy and इसीलिए इसके ऊपर ये मीटिंग की गई. So despite this, हमने कहा कि एमएसएमई इतना ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन फिर भी एमएसएमई के अराउंड बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हैं। वो प्रॉब्लम्स क्या क्या है? पहली, डिफिकल्टी इन गेटिंग बैंक क्रेडिट, लैक ऑफ कोलैटरल, उनके पास गिरवी रखने के लिए कोई असेट नहीं है। हाई बोरोइंग कॉस्ट, डिले इन पेमेंट फ्रॉम द बायर, बायर ने पेमेंट डिले कर दी। लो डिजिटल एंड फाइनेंशियल लिटरेसी, इंफॉर्मेशन असिमेट्री, बैंक्स लैक रिलायबल डेटा सो दैट दे कैन असेस द बोरोवर्स। तो इंफॉर्मेशन असिमेट्री का मतलब एमएसएमई लोन मांगने आई, बैंक ने उनसे कुछ डेटा मांगा, उनके पास डेटा ही नहीं है, उन्होंने कभी रिकॉर्ड रखा ही नहीं। सो दिस इज a challenge, or these are the challenges which are focused or which are witnessed by the MSMEs. अब इन्हीं challenges को discuss किया गया in the meeting. So the key highlights of the Deputy Governor address, so Deputy Governor of RBI has given his address during this particular meeting. He talked about the first point, MSME sector importance, that why MSME is important because of job creation, contribution, as well as catalyst for innovation and entrepreneurship. Second is RBI's digital and data-driven credit initiative. So he reaffirmed RBI's commitment to support MSMEs using technology-led credit systems like यूनिफाइड लैंडिंग इंटरफेस। तो यूनिफाइड लैंडिंग इंटरफेस फिर से न्यूज में आया, 2-3 बार मैं पहले भी पढ़ा चुका हूं, आपने पहले वाली क्लासेस में अटेंड किया होगा। और उसके साथ साथ इन हिज एड्रेस account aggregator was also highlighted, which enable cash flow based lending instead of collateral based lending. This is important. The third point which was highlighted by the RBI Deputy Governor in his speech or in his address was importance, benefit and impact of regulatory sandbox, not only for MSMEs but in general for the economy. Recent regulatory measures, तो RBI ने या overall government ने क्या क्या measures लिए हैं for MSMEs so that they can support the MSMEs. If I talk about RBI first, RBI has removed the penalty for prepaying floating rate loans. अगर आप floating rate loan है, the loan in which the lending rate is not fixed, it changes over the period of time, or it changes or it is revised by RBI, by the bank as per its regular lending rate revisions. So in that particular case, if an individual, micro enterprises, small enterprises, they have borrowed floating loan and they are making the pre-closure loan, they are making the foreclosure loans, or they are repaying their loan before time, in that particular case, no penalty will be charged. Second is relaxation in EDPMS, IDPMS. Have you heard about this EDPMS and IDPMS? Yes or no? नहीं पता होगा 99%. Let's first understand this, then I'll come back to this point. So what are EDPMS and IDPMS? So to monitor India's international trade, RBI created two digital systems. First one is export data processing and monitoring system. Second one is import data processing and monitoring system. पहले वाला monitoring system track करता है exports को, ensure करता है export proceeds come back to India within the permitted time. That means export proceeds का मतलब जो foreign पैसा है, जो foreign की payment है, that should come in India in a permitted time. Track imports, ensure foreign exchange used for import matches the goods received. तो जो आपने goods खरीदे हैं उसी के बदले में आपने पे किया, तो ये दो चीजें रिव्यू की जाती है, चेक की जाती है और उनका रिकॉर्ड रखा जाता है. These systems they collect and match data. तो पहले उन्होंने डेटा बैंक से लिया, आपने लोन किसको दिया, क्यों दिया, किस इंडस्ट्री में है, what they are going to export, what they are going to import. Then they cross checked it with the customs department, it cross checked with the export and import, exporters and importers डेटाबेस, जो एक्सपोर्टर है इंपोर्टर उसका डेटाबेस भी चेक किया, तो तीनों जगह पर अगर सेम इंफॉर्मेशन मिली देन इट्स फाइन. सो द गोल इज बेसिकली टू प्रिवेंट फ्रॉड, under invoicing or over invoicing, as well as in order to avoid any kind of illegal money flow in the international trade. So what is reporting under this? So whenever MSME export or import goods and services, they must report the shipping document, payment receipts, bank details, bill of entry or shipping bill, foreign currency details, status updates, and this process ensure transparency but involves paperwork as well as compliance time. What does relaxation in reporting means? It means that RBI has reduced or simplified reporting requirement for small exporters and importers. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि अब आपको रिपोर्टिंग करनी नहीं है. Not that. Reporting for you has been simplified. This means fewer documents you have to upload, less frequent reporting is need to be done, simplified compliance, extended timelines, reduced penalties. Essentially, MSMEs, they can now focus more on business rather than fulfilling the compliance burden. तो समझ आया क्या किया? Sir, the latest announcement is relaxation in EDPMS and IDPMS reporting, जहाँ पे these systems track export and import transactions. Relaxation means smaller exporters and importers, they have reduced paperwork, making global trade easier for MSME and forced them, pushed them कि भैया आप अपने business पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दो rather than the paperwork. Coming back to the news now, if I talk about the news, first one, the next point is addressing key challenges. So what are the key challenges which are addressed? Information asymmetry. Many MSMEs, they struggle because banks, they lack verified data on their business. So digital systems like unified lending interface, as well as account aggregator, they are basically set up by RBI to fix this. Delayed payment, cash flow disruption hurts MSME a lot because MSME already it's operating on low working capital. And if they're selling the goods, but they are receiving the funds or the repayment after 3 months, they don't have the adequate cash to run their business for those 3 months. So it's first thing is, या तो उनको पैसा हाथों हाथ मिले, नहीं मिल पा रहा तो it's fine. There should be an alternative so that they can arrange the funds for the time being to bridge this gap. Then we have low financial literacy. So RBI has urged MSME bodies to assist entrepreneurs in improving awareness about credit options, digital tools and formal finance benefits. So this is very important. Low financial literacy में RBI ने urge किया है MSME bodies को कि भैया आप assist करो entrepreneurs को in improving awareness about credit option, digital tools and formal finance benefits. There was recently a term again, promotion of TREDS. TREDS क्या है sir? It is Trade Receivable Discounting System. It's a platform where MSME, अब MSME ने मान लो एक एक्स कंपनी को प्रोडक्ट बेचा, उस एक्स कंपनी ने पैसे देने की बजाय उन्हें इनवॉइस दे दिया और इनवॉइस वैलिड है 3 मंथ्स की, आपको हम 3 मंथ के बाद इस कंसाइनमेंट का पैसा देंगे. अब एमएसएमई को पैसा चाहिए तो एमएसएमई क्या कर सकता है? एमएसएमई कैन यूज दिस इनवॉइस एज अ कोलैटरल and can issue this invoice on the TREDS platform. And let's say a financer, a company purchase this invoice at a discounted value, 10 लाख का 9 लाख में खरीद लिया, 9 लाख एमएसएमई के पास आ गए और बाद में टाइम पूरा होने के बाद कंपनी ने अपने जो 10 लाख है दे हैव रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम द इंडिविजुअल और फ्रॉम द कंपनी एक्स. कंपनी को रिटर्न मिला इन टर्म्स ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, एमएसएमई को इंस्टेंट कैश मिला टू रन देयर business right away. So that is TREDS. So it's a digital platform where MSMEs, they can get invoices financed get invoices financed earlier from banks and NBFCs. But this helps MSMEs to get working capital quickly instead of waiting for buyers to pay. So RBI has encouraged more onboarding of MSMEs, more participation of buyers, which include corporates as well as PSUs. Awareness and training for MSMEs has also been recommended. Then we have credit guarantee and rehabilitation emphasis. So in institutions like credit guarantee trust fund, micro and small enterprises protect banks against MSME loan default. कितनी वैल्यू तक का गारंटी प्रोवाइड की जाती है टू दी MSMEs? बिकॉज दिस वैल्यू हैज बीन रिवाइज्ड रिसेंटली. इस वैल्यू को रिसेंटली रिवाइज किया गया था. एनी आइडिया गाइस? It provides credit guarantee for MSMEs. Earlier, the value was different, but now, if you ask me, it provides guarantee up to 10 crores. It provides guarantee up to 10 crores. Revival of distressed but viable units. So RBI has emphasized कि support करो MSMEs that can recover with assistance, not pushing all these stress units into the NPA. उन्हें क्या करो? उन्हें help करो so that they can come out of the tough times. Is it clear? So these are some of the aspects which are discussed in the Standing Advisory Committee meeting, 30th meeting on MSME credit. Let's try to solve a question. Unified Lending Interface is an RBI initiative to create standardized digital lending marketplace that enables data-driven and cash flow-based lending for MSME. I hope आप सबको याद होगा. Unified Lending Interface क्या है ये? Sir, it is basically a database which is connected to GST network, digital land records. It is connected to cooperative societies and whatnot. तो उस केस में if an individual approaches to the bank with no documents, then bank can easily receive the information against this individual डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द यूएलआई प्लेटफॉर्म। अब इससे क्या होगा, बैंक को डिसीजन लेने में आसानी होगी और जल्दी से लोन दिया जा सकता है, रादर देन आस्किंग द इंडिविजुअल कि पहले जाओ डॉक्यूमेंट्स लेके आओ, देन ओनली विल प्रोवाइड यू द लोन। सो दिस इज करेक्ट। Account aggregator framework help MSMEs share their financial data securely with lenders, facilitating credit decisions without the lender taking custody of the data. Account aggregator framework क्या करता है सर? ये हेल्प करता है MSMEs को, शेयर करता है उनके फाइनेंशियल डेटा को सिक्योरली विद द लेंडर्स। बिल्कुल सही है सर। RBI announced waiver of prepayment on floating loans only for large corporates and not for MSMEs. This is wrong. Trade receivable discounting is a platform intended to help MSMEs convert their unpaid invoices. That is correct. Relaxation reduces compliance burden, especially for small exporters and importers. This is also correct. So the answer to this particular question would be 1 is correct, 4th is correct, and 5th is correct. Second में क्या था? Account aggregator framework helps MSME share their financial data with the lender, but phrasing without the lender taking custody of the data. मतलब without the lender taking custody of the data. This is wrong. This is wrong. Account aggregator क्या है सर? वो enable करता है controlled, consent based sharing of financial data from data providers like banks, NBFCs to the data users. So account aggregator system है जो आपको data sharing करता है, और वो जो data sharing है वो आपके customer के consent पे की जाती है. So it's not without holding. So this is wrong. Answer is going to be 1, 4 and 5. So which means D option is the correct answer. ठीक है जी. Second option is wrong. Account aggregator में ये जो term है ना, इसको ऐसा समझो, account aggregator system facilitates transmission under customer consent. However, lender may still receive the data for assessment. They do not hold account aggregator's role of custodianship. That is not required. So the core idea is secure consented data sharing. So the statement wording is slightly misleading and therefore it is judged in a wrong statement. So I will be going with false statement. I'll not go with true statement for this. So this is wrong. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गया. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एज यू ऑल नो, इज योर होमवर्क. टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट. Next question is your homework. Take the screenshot and then we will conclude the discussion. Done, guys? Okay. Thank you so much for joining. You can download the PDF. I'll be sharing all the 3 PDFs just after this session. Bye-bye. Take care. Good luck. God bless you all.